Welcome to another edition of Douglas on My Mind, and as always, my name is Terrell Jacobs. I'm the city manager of the city of Douglas, and we have an exciting show for you today, coming from our new location of where we're recording our new Douglas on Our Mind show over here at the Ashley Slater House, and we're going to be working around trying to tweak this stage setting, if you will, for a little bit of time, so that hopefully we get the optimal recording for the Douglas on My Mind show. I think Georgia Henderson will be taping over here as well. But we have an exciting show today. We have Mrs. Diane Roberson. She is with First Baptist Church, and she's going to talk to us about the Windshape program and what it has to offer this summer. So we're right back after these messages. We're back with more Douglas on My Mind show, and as I stated before the break, we have a special guest with us, Mrs. Diane Roberson. She's with First Baptist Church here in Douglas, Georgia, and her pastor is Pastor Shep Johnson, and love to hear him preach and teach. He does a great job over there at First Baptist. Appreciate you being on the show today.
Thank you.
All right. And we're going to be talking a little bit about the Windshape program and what it has to offer, and kind of the origin and the background of it, so everybody can get a better feel of what it's all about, and the amount of kids that y'all look to serve each summer, because y'all been doing a fabulous job with this. But I do want to emphasize where we are here. We're in our new location for the Douglas on My Mind show, and before we started taping, we were trying to rearrange furniture and trying to get the lighting just right. So excuse our progress. We're still trying to tweak this out over here at Ashley Slater House, where we're going to actually house our new, well, not new, but our visitor center and our tourism and Main Street. All the public information staff will be over here in regards to this. So please, if you get a chance to come by, give them about 2 or 3 more weeks. They still got some cleaning, some buffing of floors, some other things they got to do to get it all pristine and looking good. But back to you, Ms. Diane. Thank you for being on the show, as I stated.
Thank you. And
kind of give the viewers some background on the Windshape Youth Camp and what it's all about, because I think a lot of people don't know the background and a little history and how it came to Douglas, so to speak.
Right. Windshape, the camp that actually is coming to Douglas is Windshape Camps for Communities. And the Windshape overall foundation is a division of Chick-fil-A. It's their nonprofit organization. And they do a lot of different retreats and camps and things, and Camps for Community is a part of that. 3 years ago, I was just searching to bring something to our area that would be unique for our kids, that our kids could do locally and not have to go off to camp. I've always experienced being able to go off to a camp, a week of camp, and I've always thought that that's an excellent opportunity for kids that can do that.
Right.
But I wanted something to come here that kids that couldn't go off and spend the night or didn't have that opportunity would be able to come in and have right here locally. So as I approached them and talked to them about it, I wasn't sure if we would even be able to get one because we don't have a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
And I know Chick-fil-A stores partner with the camp. But the Chick-fil-A in Waycross graciously agreed to partner with us, and got a call late one year in October that we were able to get it for that June. So now we are in our 3rd year of
Wow.
the Chick-fil-A Camps for Communities. But it's an exciting opportunity. They can handle up to 500 kids. And our first year with Windshape Camps, we were very blessed, and we actually hit that limit and had 511 children,
Wow.
which was the largest camp that the Windshape Camps for Communities has ever had.
Wow.
So for a small community like Douglas, that's pretty unique.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, yeah, y'all have done a yeoman's job with this camp, and actually y'all have it on your grounds at First Baptist. There's a parking lot or a vacant lot that y'all have acquired, and y'all have got a fenced-in area. So, got a lot of great things in store for the kids. Kind of talk a little bit about how the whole camp is set up, and how even I think y'all have volunteers and some paid staff working in well. So kind of tell how the overall coordination of everything comes about.
We do. The main thing is that Windshape sends in a team of 23 young people, a camp director, and 22 staff members that are college and seminary students, young adults that run the camp. They bring in all of the equipment. The literature, everything that we use comes in through the Windshape group. We provide volunteers, at least one for every 10 children. And when I say we, I mean the Douglas community.
Wow.
We could not do this if we were not partnering with several local groups and churches in the area.
Good.
This is a community-wide event. But we have several churches that have partnered with us. We actually have 8 church partners this year that are sending volunteers and helping and getting kids enrolled and that sort of thing. So they come in and provide the volunteer aspect of that. But it's an all-day, fun-filled camp. It is. It starts off with inflatable slides and bouncy houses and games on the field. And they come in and they have music and wake up. Then they go into small group study. And then they have the opportunity to do 3 skills that they choose. That's anything from soccer, flag football, gymnastics, dance, girl world, fast food, just a variety of activities that they have to choose from, about 20 different activities, and they get to do 3 of them.
Wow.
And then they continue on through the day and they have some more rec, and they come back in for a group worship time. It is just, when the kids leave at 5 o'clock, they have had a full day of activity.
Wow. Well, I tell you, in these challenging times, having a lot of things going on out in the world, and even here in rural Georgia, specifically Coffee County, Douglas, it's good to have this positive focus with some Christian values behind it to give them an option, alternative to tap into, and hopefully feed into them some things that they need to be fed into. And I'm glad that y'all made this commitment, but it's not a small commitment.
It's not small.
Very large endeavor, and I forgot to say this at the beginning. Ms. Roberson is actually the preschool director. Am I correct?
I do all the preschool and children's ministry at First Baptist.
At First Baptist. So she not only taking on what she does during the school term, but now taking this on as a summer project, which is a very, very large endeavor, and we commend you for having the fortitude to do that, because not everybody has the, shall we say, the service of kids and kids in that regard. So we appreciate you doing that. Talk to us a little about what some other things that the Windshape hopes to instill in some of these kids, because I think those are some of the attributes that some of the parents and some of the people in the community might want to hear about. Right.
Not only do we provide Bible study and Christian background, but it also teaches teamwork. It teaches responsibility. It helps the children have more self-value. It teaches all of that kind of stuff. Integrity. All of these things are built into the camp. This is all part of what they learn. We've seen kids that have come in from broken homes, foster care system, that sort of thing, that have come in and they have really found a place at these camps. These kids are drawn out and just worked with, and they are important at this camp. And it changes how they feel about their self-image. And that's huge. That's one of the greatest parts of camp, is to see kids come in. When we first caught the vision of camp, that's what I like to call it, because when we said we would do it, that didn't mean we had the full vision of what it was going to entail. And as I began to meet with the Windshape people and learn more about the camp, this camp is really about finding individual children. This is, when you say 500 children, it's 500 individual children. And we try to focus on the one child that needs to be there, and how we can get that child to camp, and what camp's going to mean for that child. And that is not a small task. It is a community effort, and I have some great people that help with that. But this group that comes in, they're here to teach our kids, to love on our kids, to give them a self-worth and a value, to give them goals. They end the camp with goals and things for their future that they want to do. The other thing that I see about this camp is we have kids from all kinds of backgrounds that come to camp. We have all ethnicities, we have everything that's at camp. And I can see this group of children growing up to be adults that are going to work together and are going to be able to have jobs together, hold political offices together. All of these things that they're going to be able to do because they learn how to work together here at camp. And they're all on an equal basis. And so I love that about the camp, and I see the future of that as these kids move through this program.
Right. Well, I'm gonna take a little sidebar perspective on what you just said, but also hopefully drill a point home to some of our viewers that are watching this. And you spoke so eloquently in regards to helping kids develop from different social, economic, race backgrounds and things of that nature, because at the end of the day, we all got to live with one another.
Right.
And maybe, hopefully, if some adults are watching this, maybe they might come visit the Windshape camp and see how people should get along in regards to one another, coming from all different backgrounds, financial, socio-economical, whatever. So obviously, I think there's a lesson to be learned by these kids and what y'all are doing, and what kind of role models are we seeing? Are we seeing just the flip side of that? The kids are being role models for us as adults. And so those patterns of how they can work with one another hopefully will, as you just put it, will move forth with them when they get to be adults. So so if you get a chance, please come by First Baptist Windshape, just to pop in. Now please make sure that you do the proper things. They don't want, danger stranger situations going on, but definitely just come by and see what they're doing over there. I think some real good positive things. Let me talk a little bit about this before we go to the break. Obviously, as y'all put all this together, some of the concerns it might be by some parents and people who watch this is, well, what's the cost? What are some things that I got to prepare for? Because obviously, you said different people coming from different backgrounds. So how can people get engaged with it if you don't already have a full complement of kids that are already in the program? So
right, we the cost of the camp is $196 per child. And one of the great things that we have been able to offer is some scholarships, partial and full scholarships across the board, just from local businesses that have been very generous and allowed us to be able to find these kids that need to be at camp. Early on, if you register early in February, you have the opportunity to pay several months before you get to camp, which is a great option when you think about it in little segments instead of the whole amount.
Yeah, right.
As well as we provide lunch for the kids every day. We have been blessed last year and this year to be a part of the federal feeding program
with the school system.
And they bring us sack lunches every day.
Wow.
And we feed every child that comes to Windshape. So the children really just have to show up with a heart to be ready to do everything that they're able to do.
That's perfect.
A good attitude is all we ask.
Well, I tell you, Ms. Roberson, y'all are doing a great job with this program. I think it has been the Cadillac of programs throughout the state of Georgia as far as these Windshape. I think there's how many Windshape camps doing in a year?
There are 8 teams of Windshape, and they do 9 camps across the United States each. So that's 72 camps across the United States. They're more than just Georgia. So we go as far as Texas, Missouri, Illinois. don't think they've gone past Texas, but most of them are in the eastern United States. But there's 72 camps across the summer.
Wow. Well, I tell you, great things happening over at First Baptist at the Windshape camp. We're going to take a break, and we're going to be back with Miss Roberson and some more questions in regards to Windshape camp for this summer.
Okay.
WDTV 13. Programming is sponsored by McCrary Daniels Insurance Agency, Joe's Check Cashing,
100 Men in Black and Roscoe Allen Company. 100 Men in Black working to bring unity to our community since 2002. Boss Riders and Roscoe Allen Company. The Boss Riders serving the Coffee County community for over 20 years.
If you want your pizza fixed just right, chances are you'll go to Danny's. If you're celebrating a birthday, Holtz is probably fixing the cake you'll put the candles on. And if your wedding ring needs an adjustment, you'll find yourself at Crawford Jewelers. But if it's you who needs fixing, it should definitely happen here. Coffee Regional Medical Center in Douglas, Georgia. We fix things better here.
Back with more Douglas on My Mind, and as I stated at the beginning of our taping, we are having Mrs. Diane Roberson with the Windshape Community Camp that has looked to serve kids in our community here, and they're doing a yeoman's job, doing a great job putting all this together. But one of the things that we were talking about during the break is that, you know, there's still needs, there's still opportunities out there to continue helping these kids in our community. One of the things that I didn't mention this while she was talking about the lunch program, Mrs. Dawn Lewis with the Coffee County School System, she's the nutritional director. They have been doing a great job trying to help different camps and vacation Bible studies have food during the summer, and that's a seamless situation. I was not aware that a significant amount of kids during the school year, during the school year, are going home hungry.
Right.
I think the retired teachers group have started what they call a brown bag program, that they're helping certain elementary schools in the Coffee County with helping kids who might not have an opportunity to take food home, to take something home so they can have something in the afternoon.
Right.
It's tragic when a child has to hoard food during lunch so that they can have food to go home with. But we have situations like that. So hearing all that, obviously there's other kids that sometimes don't have a seamless situation in the summer for activities, which the Windshape offers that, but also don't have the resources to do some things that they would want to do as far as that. So the scholarships don't come free. Obviously somebody has to contribute to help out with that. So talk a little bit about some of the needs and some of the opportunities that our viewers could hopefully tap in to help with the Windshape, and where your numbers at in regards to that, and what kind of other things that you would need to help to be another successful year.
Right. One of the things I'm always asked about scholarships and how we do scholarships and how we handle those situations. I try to take scholarships on a need-by-need basis. We have all different kinds of needs across our county, and different reasons why somebody might need a scholarship for camp. It may be somebody that has 3 or 4 children. That could be very expensive when you're looking at $800 instead of $200. So I try to just look at them need by need basis, and we do have a lot of individuals and businesses that have offered up scholarships. But our first year that we did camp, we actually had about $52,000 scholarship money in our account to give out scholarships, and that was the year we had 500 kids. Wow. Last year, our scholarship money went down to about $42,000, and our numbers went down to about 435. So we saw an exact balance with our scholarship money and our number of kids. So this year, our scholarship money, because of the economy and the financial area of our area, our scholarship money's down. We're up to about $26,000 of scholarship money. Our scholarship money that we have has been given out to kids that have applied. We have used all of our scholarship money every year. The money that comes in, we have kids ready for it.
Wow.
Which is an amazing thing to me, how it works out like that. But our numbers right now are about 350 kids. I do feel like we'll have some registered this week. We're not full. But if there are businesses or individuals that would like to help with this, they can contact me. We always use all of our scholarship money to send these kids to camp.
And hopefully with Johnny, we'll get your contact number at the bottom scrolling. But just for everybody's purposes, what contact number would you like to give or email?
They can call me at the church at 384-5598, and they can email me at Diane R, DIANER, at fbcdouglas.com.
Okay. Good. Well, obviously, we want to try to serve as many kids as we possibly can because there's quite a bit of need out there. So if you're hearing this, even if you might not be able to give the full scholarship amount, whatever contribution that you would be willing,
it all comes together.
It all comes together.
It does. And we give partial scholarships.
Okay.
Some people are able to pay half or whatever, and we work with them and work all that out.
Good. Well, one of the things, I guess, as you've now gone through 3 years, any reflective things that you see that are some outcomes or takeaways, or what are some things that you think maybe y'all could improve upon to help this camp do better each and every year?
One of the things is, like you mentioned earlier, people need to see this camp. People need to see what it really is. We cannot describe it in words. You cannot describe that many kids working together and coming together for this camp unless you've seen it. So we are offering kind of backstage tours.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If they can contact me at that same number.
Okay.
And we can schedule them a time to come through camp, and we'll be glad to show them around and show them what this means, what's going on.
Good.
On Fridays, the families of all the kids are invited to come and spend the whole day with us at camp. They do this every year, and then the Chick-fil-A from Waycross feeds all of those families.
Wow.
So they invite parents, grandparents that want to come and spend the day with their child. They get to see all the activities that they've done throughout the week. And spend the day with them and then have lunch with us.
Okay.
We are also offering people to call us for that Friday. We're going to have a little fun time after lunch out on the field behind the church, and we just like it for it to be a good community time. There is nothing that has come out of this greater than the bonds I've built across this community, just contacts that I've been able to make through Windshape. People that have contacted me, and we've formed other joint efforts after doing the camp.
Wow.
And coming out and being a part of that is just huge. So that's something that I would recommend for anybody to do.
Right.
Also, the kids, we have a lot of kids in our community, and a lot of people would say, well, what's a week of camp going to do for these kids? And so I would like to encourage them to get a vision of what these kids are. We have all kinds of kids that come to camp. We have kids that are able to take vacations. We have kids that have never been outside of Coffee County.
Yeah.
For some of these kids, this is the very best, most exciting thing they're going to do this summer. And I would love for our community to catch that vision of what we're talking about and what we're offering for these kids to do for that week. Beyond sitting inside, not doing anything, not having lunch, playing video games. We don't know what kids face a lot of times during the summer when school's out. And it's just an excellent opportunity.
Right. And even though, correct me if I'm wrong here, I think the camp runs from next Monday, which is the 9th, through the 16th or
The 13th.
13th.
Through the Friday.
Through that Friday. So, but that's a lot of impactful information and some relationships and good interpersonal skill development being packed into that week, and that's crucial because a lot of times, as you just mentioned, a lot of kids don't get that exposure that they need, and that interaction between different kids from different backgrounds, and that I think is just so ideal.
Right.
And one of the things that we're seeing on the backside of all this, I do some work with the South Georgia State College and Wiregrass, and what we're seeing is when they get to those age where they're transitioned to either technical college or either board or regent school, sometimes some of their interpersonal development is not there. And that's a challenge because at that point you should have all your facilities together.
Right.
And Johnny should be able to play well with one another.
Right.
So that is so crucial. And I know when I was going to school, that was such a keen thing that we focus in on, which is how you work well with one another.
Right.
And y'all are hitting it right on, trying to get kids to relate to each other, work with each other, and trying to build those good values, good Christian values, I'm not ashamed to admit it, that help them move on in life, and to be good citizens at the end of the day. And that's what we all want, everybody to be respectful of one another and appreciative of what each other can bring to the table. So we appreciate y'all doing this. Talk to me a little bit about, obviously y'all gonna have, if I recall, you're gonna block off certain sections of that around the church and kind of stage it in a way so that people can bring the kids in, drop them off, and then from what times to what time, so they can kind of get the whole schematic of how that facilitates
How that
itself.
works. It takes a village, but yes, we try to, we close the street that runs right around our church, not Gaskin Avenue, but beside the church and behind the church, between our church and the field that we use. That is for the safety of the children, to keep cars from coming through there when children are crossing roads and that sort of thing. But everything that we do for the safety of the kids. We keep everything enclosed. But registration starts Monday morning at 7:45. Those kids that have pre-registered will come to our front parking lot. There'll be tents and flags everywhere showing you where to go. And they will register in the front parking lot. They bring a medical release form and get their name tags and that sort of thing. And then they head off towards the field to start camp. So we register right there in front of the church. We use the field behind us. We have activities that go on at Emma Ward Park. We have activities that go on down at Eastside Park. So we use a lot of the area around our church to put these kids in all these activities. And that has worked out really well for us. Parking and traffic in that area is a nightmare in the mornings around 7:45 to 8 o'clock, and then in the afternoons for pickup at 5. But I think over the 3 years, over the first 2 years, we've worked out a schedule that has worked very well, and we've been able to get cars in and out and get parents to work or wherever they need to go. On Friday, we ask that parents be patient with us because if we have 500 kids and they all have parents and stuff there, we have about 1,500 people on the property. So that they come in, we locate them and put them with their children, and it's just a great day of fellowship. So it works out real well. We use that whole area. So kids will be everywhere, flags will be everywhere. You'll walk up and wonder what is going on in Douglas, Georgia.
Oh, that's great. Well, it sounds like you got a lot of excitement to get people to the camp and get their parents to wherever they need to drop the kids off. I know you have some doing security out there, making sure that the kids are safe. I know the city of Douglas has closed down that section of those 2 streets to give y'all opportunity to not have any inhibiting of situations. So sounds like a fun opportunity. What we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come right back with a few more questions, and I'll release you from this torment here now. But we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.